One unexpected phone call erased everything they had spent 20 years building. Their business collapsed, savings disappeared, and the bank prepared to seize their home. Friends assumed their story was over. Instead, that devastating day became the first chapter of the greatest comeback their family could have ever imagined together. Michael and Emily Turner had spent 2 decades operating a successful neighborhood furniture company. Hard work rewarded them with a comfortable home, financial stability, loyal employees, and dreams of early retirement. They believed careful planning protected them from disaster. Life quietly prepared a lesson neither expected to experience firsthand. The warning signs arrived slowly. Customer orders declined, supply costs increased, and economic uncertainty changed spending habits. Every month became harder than the previous one. Michael remained optimistic, believing business would recover soon. Emily worried quietly, carefully studying financial reports that painted an increasingly troubling picture for everyone. Determined to protect the company, Michael invested personal savings into daily operations, while Emily negotiated with suppliers for better payment terms. Employees appreciated their dedication, but mounting expenses continued outpacing shrinking revenue. Despite exhausting every solution they knew, the financial pressure grew heavier with every passing month afterward. Late one evening, the couple sat alone inside their empty showroom, surrounded by unsold furniture. Silence filled the building, where laughter and customers once gathered daily. They realized hope alone couldn't solve financial problems. Difficult decisions now stood directly between their family and an uncertain future filled with overwhelming fear. After weeks of impossible choices, Michael and Emily filed paperwork to close their business permanently. Employees hugged them goodbye with tears and gratitude for years of honest leadership. Locking the showroom doors one final time felt like saying farewell to a lifelong dream that defined their identity completely. Closing the business solved nothing immediately. Outstanding loans, unpaid bills, and declining savings followed them home. Every unopened envelope on the kitchen table carried another reminder that financial reality refused to disappear. Nights became sleepless as they searched endlessly for solutions that seemed frustratingly out of reach every day. One rainy afternoon, a certified letter arrived from the bank. Missed payments had placed their family home at risk of foreclosure unless immediate arrangements were made. Emily quietly folded the letter while Michael stared through the window, struggling to accept how dramatically life had changed within only several difficult months. Neighbors whispered about the family's sudden financial troubles, while former competitors assumed Michael had failed because of poor decisions. Few understood the economic challenges behind the collapse. Rather than defending themselves, Michael and Emily chose silence, believing actions would eventually speak louder than painful public opinions and rumors everywhere. That evening, their teenage daughter quietly placed a handwritten note on the dinner table. It read, "We still have each other. We'll rebuild together." Tears filled the room as hopelessness slowly gave way to determination. They had lost almost everything, but not the courage to begin again from nothing. The following morning, Michael woke before sunrise and opened a blank notebook. Instead of listing everything they had lost, he wrote one simple question: "What can we still build?" That single sentence shifted his mindset from regret toward possibility, giving the family their first genuine feeling of hope again. Emily carefully reviewed every household expense, eliminating anything unnecessary. Streaming subscriptions disappeared, restaurant meals ended, and luxury purchases became distant memories. Each dollar saved strengthened their determination. They discovered that discipline wasn't punishment. It was a powerful tool helping families survive difficult seasons without surrendering their dreams or hope. Unable to find executive positions quickly, Michael accepted temporary warehouse work loading delivery trucks. The physical labor exhausted him, yet he refused embarrassment. honest work, regardless of title, provided income and restored confidence. Every paycheck reminded him that rebuilding begins with accepting reality instead of resisting it completely. Emily began offering furniture restoration services from their garage using skills she had developed over decades. Old chairs, scratched tables, and damaged cabinets gradually transformed into beautiful pieces again. Customers appreciated her craftsmanship, proving that valuable experience never disappears, simply because a business closes during difficult circumstances. Their teenage daughter helped photograph Emily's restored furniture and listed each piece online. Social media slowly attracted local buyers who admired the quality and attention to detail. The family worked together every evening, discovering that teamwork often creates opportunities impossible to achieve alone through individual effort and persistence. Michael spent lunch breaks reading books about changing markets, customer behavior, and digital business strategies. Instead of blaming the economy forever, he studied what successful entrepreneurs were doing differently. Every chapter expanded his perspective, replacing frustration with curiosity and preparing him for opportunities he couldn't yet clearly recognize ahead. One satisfied customer recommended Emily's restoration work to a local interior designer. Soon, larger projects began arriving from homeowners renovating older properties. Each completed project produced modest profits, but more importantly, each satisfied client generated trust, referrals, and growing confidence that their skills still held meaningful value today. Although money remained tight, Michael insisted on paying every debt they reasonably could, one payment at a time. Progress felt painfully slow, yet every balance reduced represented another small victory. They understood that financial recovery wasn't built through dramatic breakthroughs, but through countless responsible decisions repeated consistently over months. One evening, Michael revisited the abandoned showroom where their business once flourished. Instead of sadness, he noticed valuable lessons hidden inside every failure. The empty building reminded him that buildings don't create success. People, character, resilience, and continuous learning create success that survives even devastating setbacks and hardships. Driving home beneath the evening sky, Michael smiled for the first time in months. Their comeback hadn't arrived yet, but something equally important already had. They no longer measured progress by what they lost. They measured it by every disciplined step, moving their family steadily forward together toward a brighter future. Months passed, and small victories slowly replaced daily disappointments. Emily's restoration business earned consistent orders, while Michael's warehouse job provided steady income. Although their finances remained fragile, they finally stopped falling backward. Stability, once taken for granted, now felt like an extraordinary achievement worth protecting every single day. Instead of rushing into another business, Michael carefully studied why the first company had failed. He analyzed outdated systems, rising expenses, changing consumer habits, and missed opportunities. Every painful mistake became valuable education, ensuring their next chapter would be built upon wisdom rather than repeating familiar patterns from before. Emily encouraged Michael to stop viewing failure as an ending. She reminded him that experience gained through hardship often becomes more valuable than knowledge earned through easy success. Together, they promised never to hide from their past, because every lesson strengthened the future they were carefully building with patience. Using free online courses, Michael learned digital marketing, e-commerce, and customer analytics during evenings after work. His notebook quickly filled with ideas connecting traditional craftsmanship with modern technology. Every completed lesson increased his confidence, proving education remains one investment that cannot be taken away by financial setbacks or failure. One loyal customer suggested selling restored furniture nationwide instead of serving only local buyers. The idea seemed ambitious, but Michael listened carefully. Rather than dismissing new possibilities, he researched shipping costs, online marketplaces, and customer demand, discovering opportunities far larger than their small garage business ever previously imagined. The family converted one section of their garage into a small photography studio. Bright lights, simple backdrops, and careful product images transformed ordinary furniture into premium listings. Better presentation attracted more attention, teaching them that perception often influences opportunity just as much as product quality itself today. Sales gradually increased beyond nearby neighborhoods. Customers from different states began ordering restored furniture because they appreciated exceptional craftsmanship and honest communication. Each shipment represented more than income. It proved their family business could grow without repeating the costly mistakes that once threatened everything they owned before completely. Michael continued working at the warehouse despite improving sales. Friends questioned why he didn't quit immediately. He smiled politely, explaining that patience protected progress. Financial freedom required preparation, not emotion. Building strong foundations mattered far more than celebrating success before it truly arrived for their family together. Emily carefully saved every dollar of business profit instead of upgrading their lifestyle. The family drove older vehicles, postponed vacations, and resisted unnecessary spending. Their discipline quietly created an emergency fund, providing peace of mind they had never fully appreciated before losing everything during their financial collapse together. Late one evening, Michael closed his notebook after writing a powerful reminder across the final page. Never confuse temporary defeat with permanent failure. Looking around the modest garage workshop, he realized their greatest comeback wasn't beginning with money. It was beginning with stronger character, wiser decisions, and hope. Spring brought unexpected momentum. Orders increased every week, forcing the family to organize production more efficiently. What once felt like a survival project slowly resembled a real business. Michael recognized the importance of building systems instead of depending solely on endless hard work to create sustainable long-term success. Emily developed a signature restoration style that blended classic craftsmanship with modern design. Customers began recognizing her work instantly through social media. Positive reviews spread naturally, proving that exceptional quality and consistent service often outperform expensive advertising when businesses genuinely exceed customer expectations every single time consistently. Michael transformed their handwritten records into professional inventory software and organized shipping schedules. Better systems reduced mistakes, improved delivery times, and strengthened customer confidence. The improvements seemed small individually, yet together they created a business capable of growing without becoming overwhelmed by increasing demand from satisfied clients. One afternoon, a popular home design influencer purchased Emily's restored dining table. After sharing photographs online, thousands of new visitors discovered the family's business overnight. Their website experienced record traffic, reminding them that remarkable opportunities often arrive after years of quiet preparation instead of random luck alone. Rather than celebrating prematurely, Michael focused on serving every new customer exceptionally well. He answered emails personally, solved shipping problems quickly, and honored every commitment. Their reputation became their greatest asset because trust, once earned consistently, attracted opportunities that money alone could never purchase or replace. Warehouse work still filled Michael's weekdays, while evenings belonged entirely to the growing business. Long hours tested his endurance, yet he remembered sleeping peacefully mattered more than temporary comfort. Every sacrifice carried purpose because each difficult day moved the family one step closer toward genuine financial stability and independence. Emily hired a retired carpenter seeking part-time work. His decades of experience improved production quality while allowing larger projects to be completed faster. Welcoming another skilled craftsman reminded the family that rebuilding success also meant creating meaningful opportunities for others, not simply improving their own financial circumstances alone. Their daughter designed a fresh company logo symbolizing renewal, craftsmanship, and resilience. Customers loved the authentic story behind the brand, connecting emotionally with the family's determination. The business no longer sold restored furniture alone. It represented hope, perseverance, and second chances for anyone facing difficult circumstances in life. The bank representative who once discussed foreclosure noticed the remarkable business growth. During a routine financial review, he congratulated Michael and Emily for honoring every repayment agreement despite enormous hardship. Their consistent integrity restored not only financial credibility, but also personal confidence that no crisis could permanently destroy again. One quiet evening, Michael stood outside their home watching the sunset with gratitude instead of fear. The house was no longer just property under financial pressure. It had become living proof that resilience, disciplined choices, and unwavering family unity could rebuild dreams stronger than they had ever been before. A year after losing their business, the family's workshop operated at full capacity. Orders arrived faster than expected, requiring careful scheduling instead of desperate searching for customers. Michael smiled quietly, realizing they had crossed an invisible line. Survival was ending. Sustainable growth had finally begun through consistent daily effort. Instead of borrowing heavily again, Michael reinvested profits carefully into better equipment, improved packaging, and efficient tools. Every purchase strengthened the business rather than satisfying personal desires. Past mistakes had taught him that strong companies grow patiently, balancing opportunity with responsibility during every stage of expansion and success. Emily launched a video series demonstrating furniture restoration techniques. Viewers appreciated her honesty, practical advice, and genuine passion for craftsmanship. Thousands subscribed, transforming their expertise into educational content. Their story inspired people far beyond customers, creating a loyal community built upon trust instead of aggressive marketing strategies alone. The family received invitations to local entrepreneur events where Michael openly shared lessons from failure. Rather than hiding painful memories, he explained every mistake honestly. Audiences admired his transparency, proving vulnerability often builds stronger credibility than pretending success arrived without setbacks or difficult lessons throughout the journey completely. One evening, Michael found the original foreclosure letter inside an old filing cabinet. Instead of throwing it away, he placed it inside his notebook. That painful document no longer represented fear. It reminded him how far disciplined action, humility, and perseverance had carried their family through unimaginable adversity together. Orders from hotels, restaurants, and boutique businesses soon replaced individual customer requests. Larger commercial contracts increased revenue significantly while demanding greater organization. Michael hired additional craftsmen carefully, determined to build a healthy company culture where employees felt respected, appreciated, and inspired to produce exceptional work every single day. Emily insisted every new employee learn the company's story before touching their first project. She believed understanding the journey mattered as much as mastering woodworking skills. The workshop became a place where resilience, gratitude, teamwork, and integrity guided every decision made throughout each working day, with purpose always. Financial statements finally revealed something unimaginable only 2 years earlier. Their savings exceeded the amount they had lost during the collapse. Michael quietly closed the spreadsheet, overwhelmed not by wealth, but by gratitude. Recovery wasn't measured in dollars. It was measured by confidence restored through perseverance and wisdom gained. Michael returned to the empty furniture showroom where their original business had once operated. Standing outside the building, he smiled peacefully. He realized success had never belonged to one location. Their greatest asset had always been the determination, knowledge, and unity they carried wherever life led them forward together. That evening, the family celebrated with homemade dinner around the same kitchen table where fear once dominated every conversation. Laughter replaced anxiety. Hope replaced uncertainty. Michael looked around proudly, understanding their greatest comeback wasn't rebuilding a business. It was rebuilding belief in themselves, together, stronger than ever before. As demand continued growing, Michael rented a small commercial workshop to replace the crowded family garage. Walking through the empty building, he remembered losing the original showroom years earlier. This time, excitement came with wisdom. Growth would be earned carefully, never fueled by reckless optimism or unnecessary financial risk. Instead of purchasing expensive equipment immediately, Michael leased only the machines necessary for current production. Emily agreed completely. They understood expansion should follow customer demand, not personal ambition. Every decision reflected lessons learned from their previous business, where growing too quickly created pressures impossible to sustain during difficult economic times. Their daughter graduated from college with a degree in digital marketing and officially joined the family business. She modernized the website, expanded international advertising, and strengthened customer relationships online. Watching 3 generations work together reminded Michael that their greatest investment had always been family rather than furniture or profits. A national home decor magazine featured Emily's restoration techniques and shared the family's comeback story. Readers admired their resilience more than their products. Thousands discovered the business overnight, proving authentic stories often inspire people more deeply than polished advertising campaigns designed solely to increase sales or attention. Despite increasing success, Michael still arrived before everyone each morning to sweep workshop floors and organize tools. New employees noticed immediately that leadership meant serving others first. His humility created a workplace where respect replaced fear, encouraging everyone to contribute their very best efforts every single day consistently. The family established a scholarship for local trade school students, pursuing woodworking and furniture design careers. They remembered struggling without guidance during difficult seasons. Supporting young craftsmen allowed future entrepreneurs to begin their journeys with opportunities Michael and Emily once wished they had received much earlier in life. One afternoon, a struggling business owner asked Michael for advice after facing bankruptcy. Instead of offering empty encouragement, Michael shared practical lessons, financial mistakes, and rebuilding strategies. Their honest conversation reminded him that experience becomes truly valuable only when it helps someone else overcome similar hardships with renewed confidence. Emily expanded the company's restoration services into custom-designed furniture built from reclaimed wood. Customers appreciated environmentally responsible craftsmanship alongside timeless quality. Innovation strengthened the business while remaining true to their original values, proving meaningful growth never requires abandoning the principles that earned trust from the beginning of their journey. Financial independence gradually became reality, yet Michael resisted dramatic lifestyle changes. The family remained grateful for simple routines, modest living, and meaningful work. Losing everything had permanently changed their definition of success. Wealth meant peace, purpose, and freedom, not endless possessions or public recognition from others around them. Closing the workshop one peaceful evening, Michael looked across smiling employees finishing another productive day. Years earlier, silence had filled an empty showroom after heartbreaking failure. Today, laughter echoed through a thriving business built upon stronger foundations. Their comeback no longer seemed remarkable. It simply reflected unwavering perseverance and integrity. Several years after losing everything, Michael stood before hundreds of entrepreneurs at a business conference. Instead of displaying revenue charts, he showed one faded foreclosure letter. The audience grew silent. That single document reminded everyone that failure often becomes the foundation for extraordinary resilience, wisdom, and future success together. After the presentation, dozens of attendees waited patiently to thank Michael and Emily. Some had recently lost businesses, while others feared taking entrepreneurial risks. Hearing honest stories from people who rebuilt their lives gave them renewed confidence that setbacks never have the final word if determination remains strong. The family launched a free mentorship program for struggling small business owners. Every month, they reviewed business plans, budgets, marketing strategies, and financial mistakes with aspiring entrepreneurs. Helping others avoid painful errors became more rewarding than watching their own profits continue growing year after year through shared wisdom. One former mentee reopened a failing bakery using lessons learned from Michael and Emily. Months later, the bakery flourished again, creating new jobs within the community. Watching someone else's comeback unfold reminded the family that true success multiplies when knowledge, encouragement, and opportunity are generously shared with others. Emily transformed one workshop wall into a gallery, displaying photographs from every stage of their journey. Images of empty garages, repaired furniture, smiling customers, and hard-working employees reminded everyone that remarkable businesses are built through ordinary days, filled with consistent effort rather than dramatic moments of overnight success alone. Michael never removed the old notebook from his desk. Inside remained handwritten budgets, failed ideas, emergency plans, and lessons learned during difficult years. Whenever new challenges appeared, he opened those pages, remembering that careful preparation and humility always protected the future better than overconfidence ever could alone. One quiet afternoon, the bank officially marked their final business recovery loan as fully paid. Michael and Emily thanked the representative warmly before leaving without extravagant celebration. Walking outside together, they realized freedom wasn't created by eliminating debt alone. It came from changing lifelong financial habits through discipline consistently. The family's company sponsored neighborhood renovation projects, restoring furniture for schools, community centers, and shelters serving families recovering from hardship. Giving back reminded them that businesses should improve communities, not simply generate profits. Their greatest achievements became measured through positive impact rather than financial statements or awards alone. Looking around the busy workshop, Michael noticed employees mentoring new apprentices exactly as he once mentored them. Leadership had become part of the company culture. Their comeback was no longer sustained by one family. It continued through people inspired to help each other grow every single day together. That evening, Emily smiled while watching the workshop lights fade beneath another peaceful sunset. Years ago, darkness represented uncertainty and fear. Now it simply marked the end of another meaningful day. They had rebuilt more than financial security. They had created a legacy rooted in resilience, compassion, and hope. 10 years after losing everything, Michael and Emily walked through their thriving workshop before employees arrived. Every workbench, machine, and finished project reflected years of perseverance. Success no longer surprised them. It simply confirmed that consistent discipline, wise decisions, and unwavering faith eventually produce extraordinary long-term results for anyone. A television documentary featured the family's remarkable comeback story. Cameras captured old photographs, humble beginnings, and their growing business. Viewers connected deeply with their honesty because Michael refused to exaggerate success. He explained that rebuilding required ordinary effort repeated faithfully, especially during days when progress remained almost invisible. Letters arrived weekly from people inspired by the documentary. Some had lost jobs, businesses, or savings. Others faced personal hardships unrelated to finances. Michael answered many messages personally, reminding each writer that setbacks define only one chapter of life, never the complete story or final destination ahead. Their daughter gradually assumed responsibility for daily business operations, while Michael and Emily focused on mentoring entrepreneurs and expanding charitable programs. Watching the next generation lead responsibly filled them with quiet pride. Their greatest achievement wasn't simply creating wealth, it was preparing others to continue meaningful work beyond themselves. During a family dinner, Michael reflected on the painful years after losing everything. Surprisingly, nobody wished those years had disappeared completely. Hardship had strengthened relationships, clarified priorities, and revealed inner resilience. Without those struggles, they might never have discovered the purpose guiding their lives today. With gratitude, a young entrepreneur nervously confessed fearing failure before launching her business. Michael smiled kindly and shared one sentence: "Failure teaches lessons that success often hides." She left encouraged, realizing courage doesn't require certainty. It requires moving forward despite uncertainty while continuing to learn from every experience encountered. The family established an annual award recognizing local businesses, demonstrating integrity, resilience, and community service. Financial success alone never determined the winner. They believed lasting achievement should always include character, generosity, and positive influence, encouraging entrepreneurs to build companies benefiting both customers and surrounding communities for generations. One afternoon, Michael reopened his original notebook and carefully counted every handwritten goal completed over the years. Many dreams once seemed impossible after bankruptcy threatened everything. Smiling quietly, he realized progress came through thousands of small decisions rather than one extraordinary breakthrough, changing life forever for their entire family. Standing outside their modern workshop at sunset, Michael watched employees drive home smiling after another productive day. Years earlier, empty parking lots symbolized devastating loss. Now, filled parking spaces represented opportunity, stability, and livelihoods supporting dozens of families. Their comeback had become a blessing, extending far beyond themselves together. Before locking the workshop doors, Emily looked at Michael and whispered, "We lost everything we owned, but we found everything that truly mattered." They smiled together beneath the evening sky, grateful that their greatest victory wasn't recovering possessions. It was discovering purpose, resilience, and enduring hope through adversity. 15 years after their darkest season, Michael and Emily visited the small garage where their comeback quietly began. The space looked ordinary, yet every corner reminded them of late nights, careful budgeting, and unwavering determination. Great achievements often begin inside places the world overlooks, without noticing true potential within them. A young reporter asked Michael what moment truly changed his life. He smiled thoughtfully before answering, "Not when we earned money again. Everything changed the day we stopped feeling sorry for ourselves and started taking responsibility for rebuilding." His words reflected years of hard-earned wisdom and humility together. The family organized free business workshops inside local community centers, welcoming anyone with determination to learn. Participants left carrying practical plans instead of unrealistic promises. Michael believed lasting transformation begins with education, disciplined action, and personal responsibility, rather than motivational speeches filled only with temporary excitement and emotion. One former employee approached Michael after many years and thanked him for never abandoning integrity during the company's collapse. Watching honest leadership during failure taught lessons impossible to learn from successful seasons alone. Michael realized people often remember character displayed during adversity far longer than achievements celebrated during prosperity. Emily carefully framed the family's original handwritten budget from their hardest year. Visitors often admired expensive furniture, but she proudly displayed that simple piece of paper. It represented courage, sacrifice, and disciplined decisions, Proving financial recovery begins with managing small choices before expecting extraordinary results over time consistently. A local university invited Michael to speak with graduating business students. Instead of discussing profits, he challenged them to build companies worthy of trust. He reminded them that markets change, economies fluctuate, but integrity remains valuable regardless of circumstances or business conditions throughout every stage of life, always. Walking through the workshop one peaceful afternoon, Michael noticed employees laughing while mentoring apprentices. The atmosphere reflected respect instead of pressure. Watching others flourish inside the culture they intentionally created became more satisfying than any financial milestone listed on annual company reports or business awards received over decades. Looking through old family photographs, Emily paused at one taken inside the empty showroom after closing day. Tears filled her eyes, not from sadness, but gratitude. That heartbreaking moment had quietly redirected their lives towards something stronger, wiser, and ultimately far more meaningful than they originally imagined together. As another successful year ended, Michael gathered every employee to express sincere appreciation. He reminded them the company existed because ordinary people consistently chose excellence, honesty, and teamwork. Together, they celebrated not extraordinary talent, but extraordinary commitment, shown through countless ordinary days of faithful work performed with purpose. Driving home beneath a brilliant sunset, Michael reflected on the remarkable journey from bankruptcy fears to lasting fulfillment. Wealth had become only one small part of their story. Their greatest success remained rebuilding hope, strengthening relationships, and inspiring others to believe that every ending can become a meaningful beginning. 20 years after their greatest financial collapse, Michael and Emily stood outside their thriving headquarters, watching employees arrive with smiles and purpose. Success no longer felt extraordinary. It felt like the natural reward for thousands of disciplined decisions, honest actions, and unwavering perseverance repeated faithfully through every challenging season together. Inside Michael's office, the faded foreclosure notice remained framed beside awards and business achievements. Visitors often asked why he displayed such a painful reminder. Michael explained that success should never erase humility. Remembering difficult seasons protects gratitude, strengthens character, and keeps pride from replacing wisdom during prosperous years ahead. Emily slowly walked through the workshop, greeting every employee by name. She remembered when only 3 family members worked inside a crowded garage. Watching dozens of skilled craftsmen building beautiful furniture reminded her that small beginnings often carry extraordinary futures hidden beneath ordinary circumstances, waiting patiently to unfold naturally. Their daughter, now leading daily operations, introduced innovative technology while protecting the company's original values. Michael proudly watched from the background, knowing true leadership prepares others to succeed. The family business would continue growing because it rested upon principles stronger than any individual person or temporary market condition. One quiet afternoon, Michael reopened his first notebook filled with desperate calculations, handwritten budgets, and uncertain plans. Turning each worn page, he realized every setback had quietly prepared him for greater responsibility. Nothing was wasted. Every difficult lesson eventually became valuable guidance for the future, awaiting patiently ahead. During another community workshop, a young entrepreneur admitted fearing failure more than anything else. Michael smiled warmly before saying, "Your future isn't determined by falling down. It's determined by your decision to stand up one more time than you fall." The room erupted into grateful applause together afterward. Later that evening, Michael and Emily visited the neighborhood where their original furniture store once stood. New businesses filled the street, yet they felt no regret. They understood life sometimes closes one chapter, only to prepare a far greater story than anyone could have imagined before hardship unexpectedly arrived. Standing together beneath the evening sky, the family reflected on everything they had gained after losing everything they owned. Their greatest wealth wasn't measured by bank accounts or buildings. It lived inside stronger relationships, deeper gratitude, lasting wisdom, and the courage developed through overcoming life's hardest moments together, completely. Before leaving the workshop for the evening, Michael carefully closed his old notebook and placed it beside the framed foreclosure notice. Both remained permanent reminders that failure and success belong to the same journey. One teaches resilience. The other reveals why resilience was always worth developing every single day. If you're facing failure today, remember Michael and Emily's journey. Losing everything doesn't mean losing your future. Every setback carries the possibility of a stronger comeback if you refuse to quit learning, growing, and believing. Your greatest chapter may begin the moment you choose never to give up,